Okay, hi. It's Friday afternoon, 3 o'clock, and just a little video here to wrap up the week and then to introduce next week. Um, First off, really enjoyed talking with you all this week. I think there's only one person that I've missed, and I've sent them a message. Carrie, you all know this because I sent the announcement. Um, I missed you because I missed the a posting where you wanted to have a slot on Thursday night. Um, you were polite not to call, but just pick up the phone and give me a call, okay? Uh, Today, um, hopefully. Okay? 413, well, you know the number. Okay, reviewing last week. You did a fabulous job in the forums. Without me, you'll see if you take the time to go back that I made a couple of posts today as I was trying to catch up. But the discussion forum people, leaders, were excellent with your summaries, and it was really just good discussion I saw. So, um, week 7 was about dealing with risk, right? This is the part of the silly diagram of the course as a tree that is represented by the clouds that are watering the tree. And some amount of risk is great, but you don't want it to flood, right? And so risk comes in many forms. The most traditional form, right, is taking out loans that hopefully you can repay, but taking out loans so that you can invest in your business, your nonprofit, um, either to expand or maybe just for cash flow needs. But whatever it is, taking out debt and making sure that you don't take on so much debt that you can't pay back the interest or the principal, okay, in which case you're out of business. Um, and so that the flip side of that coin then is not having enough liquidity either. Um, Liquidity that can fund your cash flow needs, liquidity that can fund unexpected expenses, and liquidity that can fund opportunities that you might want to invest in and take a flyer on to see if it will return um, mission-related benefits and maybe sometimes some financial benefits. Um, but in any event, risk involves dealing with the uncertainty, and uncertainty particularly about the future. And if you listen to NPR or business news reports, um, a theme that runs through them often is that private markets don't like uncertainty. And they don't like uncertainty because they can't plan with any confidence for what they don't really know for sure is coming down the pike. They don't know the future. So we talked a little bit about different techniques you can use to deal with uncertainties and sometimes future events. The cost benefit analysis is literally I'll just read it here. Cost benefit analysis is for deciding if one single option is literally worth it, right? You quantify all of the cost in a dollar amount. You quantify in dollars all of the possible benefits, and whichever one has more dollars in, that's the way you, if you have more dollar, if the dollar value of the cost is more than the dollar value of the benefits, well then you say no, you don't do that. You don't take that option. If you have more dollar benefits than you have dollar costs, then normally you would take the option, right? And regression analysis tries to quantify cause and effect relationships of the past and assumes that they will hold into the future as an indication of what might happen, right? And then quick analysis is used to organize and consider your preferences for two options, one that is a safe bet with an okay outcome, and one that is simplified to be a risk and simplified to have the best possible outcome and the worst possible outcome. Okay, and we had the PowerPoint there that talked about Susie to get married or not, but here's just another simple example of that sort of dilemma, where you have an easy, sure bet that gives you an okay option, but there's also another option that's risky that either gives you the best possible outcome or the worst. So assume that you don't have your cell phone, it's dead, and you're driving to a job interview. And this is an area that you're not really familiar with. So as you follow the directions to get to your interview, there seems to be a major traffic jam. And so you're thinking you're going to be late for your interview, right? So, but it looks like it's not too big a tie-up, but it looks like you're going to be like 10 minutes late for your interview. So you think, I wonder if there are options, a way to get around this traffic jam. And in fact, you're seeing a bunch of cars get off in the direction of where you think there might be a shortcut. So the question is, do you follow those cars and maybe find the shortcut, get to your interview on time, or do you follow those cars and get really, really lost and end up being really, really late for your interview? Depending on who you are and risk averse and how you think your sense of direction is and all that good stuff, you can play that dilemma out in the decision tree in many different ways. Okay, I guess just as a quick little summary of the course, although there's a video next week that kind of does all this. Just say that I've really enjoyed having you all in the course. I think we've covered a lot of ground, right? We've covered about the challenges of the environment we work, the financial environment in which nonprofits work. We have talked about the organization, the financial structure that will help you make good financial decisions involving the roles and responsibilities of people within your organization, policies and procedures, record keeping and reports, and making sure that your financial strategies and your operational strategies are in sync and complement one another, right? We then have talked about budgeting, both as a process, as a product, and as a management tool. And then we've moved on to think about how as you combine financial and operational strategies together, along with your mission, you basically pursue a sort of hedgehog overview of where your organization should go, so that maximizing mission, what you're really good at, and money that the economic engine that drives money into your organization are all intersect at that little point there, the sweet spot, right? That doesn't mean that you don't do things that are outside of that area, but you want to make sure that there's the focus of what you do is within the intersection of those three circles. And then we talked, we've had case studies throughout the course, but we've had case studies, particularly the CTC, that talks about the importance of really monitoring your cash and your liquidity, particularly during times of growth. And we had the New Stage Theater case study that talked about the financial structure of an organization and how it can be not having a good financial structure can lead to terrible decisions and lots of financial troubles, but also how nonprofits can develop streams of unrestricted revenue by thinking hard about the assets that they currently have and turning them into money-making opportunities and endeavors. Okay, and then last week again we were back to liabilities, and going forward we're going to put all that knowledge together and apply it to your analysis of the Akron Zoo, which is the final paper, and make sure that you have mission, what you're good at, and what will drive money into your organization in sync with an eye also toward where you sit competitively, both vis-a-vis other nonprofits and the potential market, people who will fund your organization. Okay, enough there. Thanks so much. If you have any questions about the final as you go through it, just give a call. And yeah, we don't have discussion forums next week because I want you to really focus on the final, do a great job on it. And okay, we'll see. Okay? All right, thanks.